right, guys. Hello. Good evening, and welcome to the In the Pink team call. We have these every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock, and so we're so excited to have everybody come together once a week and just be together, learn together, grow together. And tonight we have a really, really special guest, a diamond in our company, Kristi White, who I have to tell you guys just this quick little story about Kristi. She and I actually joined around the same time. I joined in like January of 2014. I know she's going to tell her story because her story is amazing. But so we happen to be like sidelined. She was on Diamond Destination Dream Team. And so I'm kind of learning and I'm watching Facebook, and somehow her stuff kept popping up in my newsfeed. So I friended her. So she was like one of the first Plexus ambassadors that I became friends with on Facebook. And I started watching her and noticing she was like just blown out of the water. And I don't know, I guess on maybe Destination Diamond Dream Team, she was announcing new people and just seemed to be like a recruiting machine. And I'm thinking, you guys know I say this all the time, if you want to be successful, watch the people who are doing well and do what they're doing. So I decided to personal message her. She didn't know me from Adam. I'm not even sure if she remembers this.
I do.
You do. So I personal messaged her. I'm not even thinking she will ever respond to me. And I'm like, hey, I'm watching you and you are growing like crazy and you're like blowing this recruiting thing out of the water, which is something I'm trying to do and I'm struggling with and I want to learn how to do it. What are you saying and what are you doing? And she messaged me back and it was just kind of like, keep it simple. All you got to do is just reach out to people and get a sample in their hand and be a mad follow-upper. And I was like, all right, that's what I'm going to do. So anyway, so I've watched her journey from the very beginning. And here we are 2.5 years later, still rolling, and got to spend a little bit of time in Kona together. And I have heard Miss Kristi on recorded calls and always been so inspired, but I've never actually seen her on a live call. So I'm super excited that she's agreed to join our team tonight and share with us about her journey, and then also just sort of what she perceives as it really takes to hit the diamond level in this company. So, Miss Kristi, I'm going to turn it over to you, darling.
Well, my goodness, thank you. That was quite an introduction. Hope I live up to it. Hi, my name is Kristi White, and I graduated from high school with Dodie over there. We went to the same small school in Pennsylvania, but now I live in Texas in a town of 425 people, and going back to 2013, my husband and I owned a small coffee shop called Ella Pearl's Trading Post. And it was really, our town is 425 people. So was a really small thing. And if you can imagine, we have 2 blinking lights and, a tiny, tiny little mercantile as if you want to go pick up some milk or eggs, but otherwise the grocery store is an hour away. So I really took a chance. I decided I was going to open up like a Starbucks, but we called ourselves Stardoes, we were Stardoes, just Starbucks, but better. And we did okay, but, it was a struggle to keep the doors open. There really wasn't enough people in town to keep it going. Some months we broke even, some months we made a little bit, but most of the time we pretty much had to sell everything we owned to keep the doors open. So on December 24th of 2013, we closed the doors, and actually, we went through every amount of savings, every cent that we had just to close the doors. It actually costs more money to close a business, unfortunately, than it does to start one. So on the 27th, that Christmas was pretty bleak for my kids that year. I remember going to the thrift store and buying some things and kind of like hand-making stuff. And my daughter went into the refrigerator and she said, Mom, when are you going to go grocery shopping? And I remember kind of panicking. And I actually think I kind of yelled at my daughter because I was so mad about the whole situation. But that night I started looking into food stamps. And my husband looked over my shoulder, and I was in bed like I am now, because that's where I do my business. Is I like to be comfy in my jammies in bed. But I was in bed, and he rolled over and looked and says, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're going to figure something out. And that night I ended up going to sleep crying. Was really concerned because really the only place to get a job where I live is maybe 4 different restaurants that are tiny, tiny, tiny for waitressing, and they weren't hiring. They were full. So I went to bed praying and really upset, actually. And the very next day, I got online. I was with 3 other direct sales companies at that time, and I thought, all right, I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to go on to these work-from-home sites, and I'm going to post that I'm looking for an opportunity, which I really wasn't. I was trying to, like, persuade people to join my team, which was funny because the very first person who reached out to me was Tamara Holloway, and she said, have you ever heard of Plexus? And I said, no, and I'm not interested, and I rolled my eyes. And she asked the all-important question, why? And I told her, well, you know, I'm with 3 other companies right now, and I'm barely breaking even. In fact, I'm probably spending more money on inventory, and my husband would kill me. We have tons of inventory of candles and pots and pans and jewelry lined up on the walls in our bedroom. And I'm tired of home parties. I don't think I can find anyone else in this town to hold one. So that's when she told me about Plexus. And when she told me about how there was no inventory, the no monthly fees, how much it cost, I looked at my bank account and I thought, well, what the heck? You know, I really hadn't found the right niche for me. And I decided to give it a try for the business side. I could only afford the $34.95. It left 17 cents in my bank account. And I did not tell my husband that I joined. I started posting right away. And I kind of went mad crazy watching YouTube videos and reading testimonies. And, you know, back then we were allowed to share a lot more health testimonies than we are now. That just blew me out of the water. So I started to grow. My first check in my first month covered my welcome pack, which I ordered and prayed that I would actually like it. Because obviously if I didn't like it, I wouldn't be so successful today. But it covered my welcome pack and 2 carts of groceries. And I remember going to the grocery store and buying steak and being so excited because I could bring home to my cowboy some ribeyes. And it was paid for by Plexus. So once I started on the products, I lost over 20 pounds. My hypoglycemia went away. A number of other health issues as well. But my team kept growing. And what I want to talk to you about tonight is, I know that everybody on here is going to be in Hawaii next year. Is that right? Everybody here is going to be in Hawaii? Yes? Okay. So I'm going to, you know, my team knows that I tell it like it is. So there might be some things that I say that you don't want to hear, but I think sometimes we need to hear these things in order to get out of our own way. When I find that the diamonds in the company, the sapphires, the emeralds in this company usually started and went to the top out of desperation. Believe it or not, you see all these diamond documentaries right now, and you see people living in these gorgeous homes, and they're all dressed perfectly, and they have their makeup on, their jewels. Well, guess what? A lot of those people were going through bankruptcy. They were just lost their jobs. They were going through major, major health issues. And I do think that part of my success came from that feeling of desperation. This has to work. This has to work. So what I did from day one was I reached out to people that in my upline who were like Celeste, Tamara, that were already successful. And I asked them what their day was like, what they did, what they did every day to be successful. How did they get there? And one thing, when I talked to Celeste, this is when she was just a diamond, not double, just a diamond. And she said that she basically worked her butt off for 6 months straight, to the point where her family couldn't stand Plexus. And then it just kind of grew on its own. For me, I worked Plexus nonstop. I'm not going to lie. It's not like I just put in 2 hours a day and I got people on board and, lucked out. I really did work it hard. I'm telling you that when I woke up in the morning, I had a date book next to me, and I would keep a list of names in that date book, and I would reach out to them. And if I was on Facebook, what I would do is, if someone's light lit up green, because back then I only had a couple hundred friends on Facebook, and when their light would light up green, I'd take it as a sign that I had to reach out to them. Around the time that I hit senior gold, I had an aha moment. I want to go back to the first time I reached out to somebody. I had that feeling of panic, like a frog in my throat, my heart beating really fast, my hands sweating, nervous. And some people said no. Some people said, oh, well, what is this you're talking about? You probably want to know what I said. Basically, I would PM people like Dodie. And I would say, hi, Dodie, we haven't talked in quite a while. I wanted to reach out to you because you have such a great presence on social media. I'd really value your opinion on something. I stumbled onto this amazing opportunity that is changing lives. And I've decided that I'm going to go for it. Costs $34.95 to join. It's not like those other MLMs that you roll your eyes at. It's no inventory, no monthly fees, no home parties. But I'm looking to partner up with somebody else who wants to go to the top. Let me know if you want to chat. That's what I would say. Some people said no. Other people never got back to me until after I went Emerald. Some people got back to me and joined me. And one of those people actually is an Emerald on my team now, from the same town that I'm in. Two jewels in a town of 425 people. So I do it all online. Now, what I want to tell you is that when I went to Senior Gold, I lost that fear of reaching out to people. It was like a wave that went over me, and it was kind of like, holy crap, I have something that can totally change people's lives, whether it's their health or the financial side of their lives. This is my passion, to help other people. And I took myself out of the equation. I actually stopped thinking about how can I grow? How can I make money? And I became more about how can I help other people achieve their goals. It's still such a passion for me. I talk to people on my level 12 on a regular basis, just on the phone one-on-one, because it is such a passion. Now, the biggest mistake you can make when you're first starting out is putting too much time into people who don't want it. That was an aha moment for me. I felt guilty I'd signed somebody up, maybe they were my friend or a family member, and I knew that they wanted it, but they weren't doing anything. So I'd keep reaching out and I'd keep trying to help them. I was wasting so much time on somebody who didn't want it. And I just realized that at that point that I had to let them go, that it just wasn't the right time for them. I now dedicate 20% of my time, 20% of my day. The 80% goes into my own business, but 20% of my day goes into my top 20%. If somebody wants to set up a phone call with me, they call me at a certain time. I don't have certain hours that I work. I kind of depends on the day, but I have them call me and we talk for about 20 minutes. And usually that call consists of, tell me about you. Where are you at? Where do you want to be? And what's holding you back? That's how I start every conversation with people. And usually what I hear people say is that they're really not doing the work. You have to incorporate 30 to 60 minutes a day into working your business. And what I call it the Plexus Power Hour. I know Dawn knows what I'm talking about, but I've been doing this for quite a long time. I dedicate about an hour a day to just reaching out to new people, to following up. And here, I want to show you an example. This is my list of leads for this month. Can you see that? That's everybody I'm working on this month. Now, some of those people have been on that list for a year. And unless they tell me to leave them alone, I don't. I'll even say to somebody, if I'm following up, I send you a bunch of information on Plexus, whether it's a video or something. Don't want to bother you. However, I really believe this could be something that may change your life. If you want me to stop bothering you or PMing you, please let me know. But until then, I'm going to keep at it until you tell me yes or no. And I've never had anybody come back and say, oh no, stop, it's just not the right time. There's a few people on this list that I know will be emeralds. They don't know it yet, but I do. Now, one thing that I have found is that that a lot of the jewels have in common is that they all were self-starters. They all really took it upon themselves to look at it like you bought your own franchise. You bought your franchise from Dawn. Dawn has her own franchise. It's in her best interest to help you, but you need to have the executive mindset to run your own business. You cannot depend on your upline. You cannot depend on your downline to keep you, make you successful. It is all about what you do. So one thing that you want to think of is that, are you being a manager of your team? You know, you get 3 people and you want to manage them, you want to help them. That's great. 20% of your time. The other 80% is your own business. That's just the way it is. Think of your business like a brick and mortar. If you have to make it an office, if you have to have a desk where you have everything, if you have small children and they need to know that mama is working at a certain time, a great thing to do is to set a timer in the kitchen for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, and tell the kids that mommy's working. The door will be closed. When the timer goes off, you may come in unless someone is dying or bleeding. And then, you know, of course, positive reinforcement. If they don't bother you, then maybe there's something positive at the end of it, like a great pink drink. But that does help a lot of people is setting a timer. You have to do that every single day. I have this great planner. Let me see if I can figure out who it is. Tools for Wisdom Planner. I got this. Can you guys see it? I got this off of Amazon for like $18. And it has a bunch of goals in it. It has goals, and it's broken down into hours. I think it's really good that you have to have a date book. You have to. And if you work plexus too much, hold it up again. If you work plexus too much, then you need to schedule family time. That is something that I've learned as a jewel. I can't remember the name of the planner. I'll try to look it up on Amazon for you. I think it's Tools for Wisdom on Amazon. Really, really inexpensive, but it's great. Excuse me. So what I want to say is that if you have the goal to be in Hawaii, first of all, you have to see yourself there. You have to believe it. You have to feel it in your soul. Deep down, you have to know it. Because if you have any apprehension, if you don't believe in yourself, then other people won't either. You have to have contagious enthusiasm. My mother-in-law was the very first Mary Kay consultant. She started the company with Mary Kay Ash. And she taught me a lot of things before she passed away. And one of them was, and this is a big Mary Kay thing, is that you have to have contagious enthusiasm. People hear it in your voice. They don't want to see you whine on Facebook. They don't want to see you talk about Trump or Hillary. They want to see a life that they want to be a part of. That's when you find people. Believe me, there's so many times that I want to post something that someone ticks me off because I like to speak my mind. But sometimes I post it, I usually delete it within 30 seconds just to get it out there and feel better. But anyways, the next thing that she taught me, and this is a big thing I see a lot of people do, a lot of people tend to focus on their level 1s only, or their level 1 through 3, because that's who they're getting paid by. But that is the worst way to look at it, because honestly, you never know. If you're in this for the long haul, we have a compensation plan that people move up. So let's say you have a level 1 who's kind of into it, a level 2 is doing nothing. Maybe they signed up a level 3 who's a rock star. but then, maybe something happens to them in a year and they drop out, but they have a level 2 that's amazing. If you have never taken the time to get to know people on lower levels in your downline, you're missing out. Now, I'm not saying spend a lot of time getting to know people, but watch your reports. Who's getting really high PV? Who is enrolling? Who's a recruiting machine? They might be on your level 7, but don't forget, 5 years from now, they might be on your level 2. So you want to invest some time in them. Really what it is that I like to tell people is feel the fear and do it anyway. Being a business owner, whether it's a small business owner or a business owner from your home with direct sales, there is somewhat of a fear that a lot of people have, especially women. I find a lot of women have a fear of success, and as well as a fear of failure or being let down, a fear of people saying no. And you really do have to recognize those fears and be able to just work through it. I mean, there's a sensible fear, like don't step off a cliff. And then there's a foolish fear that it's false evidence appearing real. That's what fear stands for. And that holds you back. So you want to kind of grab life by the horns and just go for it. You will get a niche. You'll figure out how to talk to people. You have to have your elevator speech, and your elevator speech has to touch on 3 different things. It has to touch on weight loss, health, and wealth. I call it the 3 W's. It's wealth, wellness, and weight loss, the 3 W's. So my elevator speech is when someone says, "What is Plexus?" When I first started, I was like, it's a pink drink that I lost weight. Wrong. What if that person doesn't want to lose weight? So basically what you want to say is, and you can use someone else's if you don't have your own yet. Mine is, Plexus is a health and wellness company that's completely changed my life. Not only have I lost over 20 pounds and kept it off, but I no longer have hypoglycemia, and I replaced full-time income in my 4th month. By month 11, I was making a 6-figure income a year, driving a Lexus, and got a trip to Hawaii. 2.5 years in, I'm a diamond ambassador. An average diamond earns $440,000 a year. And then I stopped. Because the next question they ask is, what is their why? Either they're going to say, how did you lose the weight? And then I know that's what they're interested in. I tend to approach everyone with the business first, because so many people have the excuse, I can't afford it. And really they can. There's always a way to figure it out, but it's not on their list is to get healthy, unfortunately. People are so worried about food, electricity, kids, all that sort of thing, that a lot of times their moms are the last ones to buy themselves an outfit or take care of themselves health-wise. So I tend to approach everybody with the business first. And if not, I turn them into a customer if they're not interested. I at least put the bug in their ear about being a wholesale ambassador. If you look at it, when someone buys retail, the triplex retail, what is it, $139? I haven't sold one in so long I don't even remember. What is it, $139? Sorry. It's been that long since I sold at retail. So, but if someone went to buy the triplex retail, they're going to spend $139. Now, how much does it cost to join Plexus and buy a triplex welcome pack? $134.95. Right there, it's an easy way to turn somebody who thinks they might want to do it as a business into a wholesale ambassador. Now, the thing is that I will never suggest that to someone who you would know for a fact that is not going to work the business. You're not going to tell your 80-year-old neighbor who doesn't have a computer about becoming a wholesale ambassador. It's not fair. It's not right. You never want to prejudge, because you never know who might join your team. Now, Dawn, you and I started out at the same time, and I didn't even reach out to Dodie. I should have thought of Dodie. I'm glad that she's on your team, though, because I love you. But really, when Dodie reached out to me and said that she had joined Plexus, I think I actually reached out and talked to her about it, and she had already joined Plexus through Dawn. It was like a kick in my own butt because I prejudged. I thought, well, I don't know if she'll be interested in that. I don't know. We went to high school together. We haven't talked in so long. I don't want to offend her. I don't want her to, think that I'm reaching out to her just because I want her to do this business. And really, that just goes to show you that you can't prejudge. So, you have to set hours every single day. I have a really good book, and hold on, I'm going to get up and get it for you because I'm laying in bed here. Hold on. Love this book.
Dodie's told us about that book. That's so funny.
It is so good because what it does is it helps you actually get in touch with what is holding you back, what your own fears are. For me, I know I was stuck at Sapphire for almost a year. And I say stuck at Sapphire. I say stuck at Sapphire because I had silver in my first week, gold, and I missed Fast Start Gold by one day, senior gold the next month, ruby the next month. Took me 2 months to get to senior ruby, and then 4 more months to get to emerald. So when I got to Sapphire, I stalled out. And the reason why I stalled out was because I was afraid of being a diamond. I was afraid of being successful. I actually didn't feel that I would fit the diamond mold. I'm not the young, pretty blonde in the big house. And I just, honestly, I felt a little intimidated by the whole thing. So it wasn't until I actually recognized that in myself that I went, what the heck am I doing to myself? So self-sabotaging. A lot of times you have to wake up in the morning, and even when you don't feel like doing it, you have to do it. It's kind of like you have to set up your Plexus hours just like you are getting your kids off to school. You don't not wake up and get your kids off to school. So you have to think of your business like an executive. You have to work it like a business. This is your business. This is your franchise. You can do it however the heck you want to do it. My way is my way. It might not be right for you, but it works for me. You have to find your own niche, a place where you can actually get contagious enthusiasm, excitement, that you share. I know that Carrie, what's her last name, Dawn, that was in Hawaii? Carrie
Wilkerson.
Yes, she shared that one of her best years with her direct sales company was when she ended up kind of stalling out a little bit. She'd reached a plateau in her business, and she realized that she didn't have a very strong why anymore. She was like, I don't know, I've reached the goals that I wanted to, I don't have a strong why. And her strong why was that she wanted to adopt. Well, one day her husband said, we're done adopting, we're not adopting, and she got really depressed about it. So she figured out that what she was going to do was end up donating $100,000 to a United States adoption center to help people adopt children who can't afford it. She made a plan. She sat down with her husband and she made a plan. How much, honey, do we have to make that I can donate $100,000 to charity? And she thought of those little kids. She thought of those moms that wanted to adopt. And she worked her business to make sure that she could reach that goal. And that's the kind of feeling, that's the feeling of desperation that I'm talking about. If you don't have it, you need to figure out a way to get it. Maybe it's helping out somebody else. It doesn't necessarily have to be you or your family. It could be somebody else in need or a charity that's in need. And if you can really focus on you're doing it for them, you're doing it for your kids, you're doing it for your husband, you'll be surprised how much easier you get that motivation. Now, don't let me, I'll be honest with you. I have my days where I feel sorry for myself. Even now, I was just in that bus accident. I got home. I got really sick. You probably can still hear it in my voice. My blind dog ran away. We found him. Thank God. I felt so guilty about that. I mean, it was like a pity party poo-poo moment I had for like 3 days. And I'm like, what the heck am I doing? This is ridiculous. So, I decided, okay, I'm going to wake up at this certain time. I'm going to drink my cup of coffee. I'm going to have my Slim, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to start over again. Sometimes you just need to say, okay, do over. That's how I look at the first of the month. Every month is a do-over. Every month I start out like I'm brand new. Every month, even at Diamond, I start out like it's the first day that I started out. I watch videos on a regular basis, whether it's Les Brown or what's his name, that big guy with the teeth that's on Tony Robbins. He has a great movie, a documentary on Netflix called I Am Not Your Guru. I boo-hooed the whole way through it. It is so good. But, honestly, it's like you just have to get out of your own way. I don't know if this is helping you guys at all, but, it's what's worked for me. It's just forget about what people say. Forget about what people think. If you don't have someone supporting you in your dreams, then you need to cut them out. Cut ties. That's just the way it is. If you have somebody on your Facebook page who's always poo-pooing whatever you say or making you feel bad, or you don't want to post because you might hear something negative from them, delete and block. That's just the way it is. Focus, blinders on what your goal is, and that's Hawaii. You guys have 9 months to do it, and you can. You can. If Celeste can get to Diamond, in 7 months, you guys can do this. But you have to believe in yourself, and you have to put those blinders on. So.
Yes. Well, you've definitely given me a good stuff. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pages of notes, Kristi.
Oh my goodness.
I do. Oh my goodness. This is such awesome stuff. Do you need to go, or do you have time for just a couple questions?
You can ask questions.
You're good? Okay. Does anybody want to ask Kristi a question? You can unmute yourself and ask live, or you can send it on a chat.
Well, since we have a history, I'm just saying I should be able to go first. Okay. I'm always the one to ask a question first. Y'all know that. Okay. So I told these guys when we were talking about, how to support one another, how we could support one another as a team on social media. And I said, I watched because you had already started Plexus when way before. I don't remember how far it was, but I watched you go from gold to emerald in a blink of the eye. Like, I knew it was like that fast. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was very interesting. And the one thing that I saw that was a sign, I thought, was the amount of likes and comments that you got on your Facebook post. So I just want to make that statement and ask you if you think that's true.
Okay, yes, but let me stop you there for a second, because I want to tell you the secret to that. You have to be really authentic on your Facebook page. You have to be real. You have to be interesting. Look at the McCalls. Doesn't everybody love to watch the McCalls? They go on live and you're like, oh boy, what's Chris going to do today? You need to be interesting. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll notice that Plexus is kind of like dabbed in there, here and there, here and there. But I also am I ask questions. Like, a question might be, I'm in the market for a new vacuum cleaner. Who can give me their opinion on what they like the best? I try to think of things that keep my non-Plexus people involved, whether it's pictures of my children or a flood or my orchid I bought in Hawaii or my blind dog or my cowboy husband or my insecurities, whatever that might be. I try to make that the main focus on my page and then slip Plexus in conveniently when it's the right time. If you do Plexus, boring, people will unfriend and stop watching you. You have to have a personality on Facebook.
Trust and believe me. That's not a problem in this house, okay?
I know that with you.
It has to do all with Olivia, okay? I can't make the stuff up that this child does. And she's been doing it for as long as I've been on Facebook, which has been a long time. But pointedly, I think that your story is very interesting because you did a lot of your stuff online. And so when I learned that part about you, I thought, okay, I'm going to do a little bit of research on how and when she went from one level to the next, because you are talking about doing stuff based solely online. Because I think a lot of the people that I have that are in, believe it or not, I do have introverted friends. They're like, oh, Facebook, or people who are very professional, literally, like they're like, I'm too professional to be on social media. I'm not that person. So, but I did distinctly saw a rise in your likes to the number of people you had, on Facebook as followers and as you rose, okay? So I think one of the things that I try and stress to my team is that we are here to support one another no matter what. Always support one another. And so when we do Plexus Post, what are your thoughts on how can we personally support our team, our sidelines, anybody who really is trying to get their stuff out there? Because we all know it's a numbers game, and we all know how Facebook works. What are your thoughts?
Okay, well, there's a few things that I do. And hold on one second. Yes. My daughter's asking me a question. Go ahead, ask a question.
Can I get to
Athletics early tomorrow. Ella, that's not an important question. No one's dying or bleeding. Okay, sorry guys. Anyways, basically one thing that I do is on the team page, I honestly, when someone wants someone to post, like comment on a thread, people on my team page will go in there and say, they'll copy that post. So they'll, like, let's say they'll click on the photo and then copy the link at the top of the Facebook, post it in the team page and say, would you please comment on my post and make sure that it's public. That's one thing. I've also done at times a thread on my page, who wants likes today? Or perhaps as a leader, I might say, okay, let's all post our why in a video post here, and we're all going to comment on each other's. Now, here's the secret to success, I think, with likes. Go outside your team. Have your team go outside your team. There is this whole thing, one plexus, and really it is true. I have several power partners and people that I help on other teams. And I can tell you that it's kind of like good karma is, I guess, the way to best describe it, because the more people you make friends with in Plexus outside of your team, you learn new strategies, you learn new ideas. I'm on probably, I'm going to say 8 different Jules pages. And we all share with each other. And it's kind of like an unspoken thing. You know, if Dawn takes something off of my page, she's not going to say this came from Kristi's page. She just copies and pastes it as her own. It makes her life a little bit easier, a little more information. It's so important to get a power partner, someone who is near a same level as you. And I really believe that the power partner should be a sideline, someone who's not on your team, basically. Huge difference. And as you grow your own Facebook page of people, you will get more likes. Now, one thing that I do is I have like probably, 4,000 pending friend requests right now. And I look, the only time I accept friend requests from Plexus people is if it's somebody I've had a relationship with that I know, had a conversation with, or they're on my team. That's it. Because I need to leave that space open. We can have 5,000 friends on Facebook. I need to leave that space open for non-Plexus people. When I first started out, I went into a group called 500 likes, 5,000 likes the right way, or 5,000 likes, or 5,000 friends, something like that on Facebook. There's a bunch of different groups like that. And I would post on there looking to network with like-minded people. and send me a friend request if you're interested. Honestly, they'd send me a friend request. I'm not going to go to Facebook jail. I can go to their page, look to see if this is somebody that I want to be friends with. Obviously, if it's some single man from a foreign country who doesn't have English on his page, I'm not going to accept it. But, if it's a woman who's with another direct sales company, yes, absolutely. And I'm going to send her a message, looking forward to getting to know you. Thanks for the friend request. And that's all I say. I don't start talking Plexus. If I want someone that I'm trying to recruit, trying to get interested with Plexus, what I do is I will go to their page and comment on one of their posts. And then I specifically will write a post that I'm hoping that they will see, because now that I've liked something on their page, they're going to see my page. That definitely makes a big difference. That's how you get people seeing your posts again. Wish them happy birthday, everybody on there. But you're asking specifically about likes. Likes are good, but you really want the comments. And the comments are what really keeps your post going. And really, if you see somebody in Plexus post something that's really interesting, like a poll or a question, whether it's a new mattress or a vacuum, you'll be surprised. You'll get a lot of people that start liking it. But it's definitely important. We have a rule on our team that when you first join, that you need to at least friend 10 people, and that those 10 people are going to continue to like each other's posts. That's kind of like, okay, you've joined. Would you please? And I'll recommend somebody, like you can send friend suggestions to people on Facebook, and I will suggest friends for them to become friends with and introduce them. They're sidelines, but they're usually about at the same level, and they start supporting each other by liking each other's posts.
That's a good idea. Now, how do you communicate that down the line? Do you just let your level ones know and it just duplicates down? I mean, because you can't really tell your level 5 to do that, right?
No, I don't tell anybody to do anything, because remember, they have their own franchise. I lead by example. Your team will only do what you do. So if you are not recruiting and you're wondering why people aren't recruiting, that's the reason. So when when I first started out, when I was probably till Ruby, I reached out to every single person that joined my team until I couldn't do it anymore. And I have a tagged post in the beginning, and I also started my own page. It's called Plexus New Ambassador Training. It's specifically for new ambassadors to go get trained, and it's broken down into each thread. One thread is just for products. One thread is opportunity meetings. One thread is Facebook posts, etc. So on that page, it says at the very beginning, here are your first steps. It doesn't matter if they're level 1 or 12. If they get added to that page, they're going to see it. And they're going to see your first steps, what your first step is. This video is the first video you should watch. Here's how you get into your back office. Make sure you friend 10 people with Plexus. All this different stuff that you have. So I put it out there, and again, the people who are successful are your self-starters. You can't spoon feed someone into success. Michelle, that is a page for my own team, but I will add Dawn to it, and she can copy anything to make your own.
Thank you.
If you want to do that, Dawn, it takes.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. I have more questions about it, so instead of asking the questions, if you could add me, I can just look.
You got it. Yeah, but that's the thing, is that I make the information available. It's there for everyone. And if, unfortunately, you're going to have people that sign people up. Occasionally on my team page, we know that we have duds that just don't want to help out. They don't want to do anything. They might just sign up one person and forget about them, and that poor person's left on their own. But what I do on my team page often is I'll say, okay, I'm opening up the next 3 days for 30-minute calls. Let me know what date and time works for you, and I'll let you know if I have that available. And I do it for any level. So I put myself out there on a regular basis. I post on it every single day, and I do live videos almost every other day. So people, no matter what level, are getting that information if they are searching for it, if they want it. That's the key. Have your eyes out for those people who really want it, who are really working it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of new people on this group. There's a lot of my people who have been wondering how they're going to be able to fit this into their, how are they going to be able to afford fitting this into their time? How are they going to afford fitting this into their life? And I think that's, honey, hold on a second. I think that my husband's trying to do dishes, and I just told him to wait for just a second, please. I'm sorry to stop you from dishes. But I think it's important for those people who are just really starting off in their business, and even those people like myself who are kind of restarting our business,
right?
Who are really jumping in and saying, okay, I want this, I need this in my life. What is one of the most important things that you can tell people that they should do, other than just be bold and don't give a rat's ass what anybody thinks? Because I can see that, and that's fantastic. I love that. I feel the same way. But what are maybe a couple of things that you can say to people that if you only have like 30 minutes a day, what is it that you would personally do to grow your business and to say, look, I was broke when I started. I had no time when I started. I was desperate when I started. This is what I needed to do, and this is what I did. Take us back to the good old days.
Okay, so basically what I did was 5-3-1, and I always had my planner next to me, and I had a goal every day of reaching out to 5 new people, whether that was online or if that was when I went to the grocery store, whatever it is. It was putting my card into someone's hands, but also getting their information in return. And a clever way to do that is to say, you know, I really think this would be great for you, but you know what? I'm on my way to a business meeting right now, and this is my last card. Can I actually take a picture of it and just text it to you?
That is good. I have never heard that one.
So, okay. So anyways, 5-3-1, get out to 5 people every day. And you can do that on a private PM to somebody. Mm-hmm. Don't make it longer than 5 sentences. 3 to 5 sentences is the best way to go. Don't want to puke plexus. People don't want to hear it. So you keep it short and simple. You can use videos when you reach out to people. If someone asks you a question about compensation, if they ask you a question about someone's health journey, find it on YouTube. There is a video out there for every question. It is so much better for people. Even opportunity meetings are out there. Sonia and Helen have one on YouTube, brand new, that they just did, that you can set an opportunity meeting to someone. 5 people every day. Reach out to 5 new people every day. 3, follow up with 3 people every day. Follow up with 3 people. 3 customers or 3 people that you are talking to about the business or the products. 1, reach out to 1 person in your upline or 1 person in your downline every day. Check in. And that's it. 5-3-1. You can do that in under an hour. If you do 5-3-1 and you focus all your time on those things, you will be successful. I'm talking to, I'm looking here at Dodie and Dawn. I know that you've been doing this a little while, so I've been kind of like giving it a little bit of the not the nuts and bolts of how to go about things, but more the attitude of how to be successful. And that is part of it, but really it is about focusing that time. You have to reach out. Number 1, you have to reach out to people. Don't expect them to come to you. Follow up at least 5 to 7 times. The first 4 times you talk to somebody, the chances of them saying yes is almost 0. Mm-hmm. The 5th to 7th time, it goes up to 80% chance of success. Most people give up in the 2nd or 3rd time.
True.
So that's why my list is so long, because, well, let me just give you an example. Danielle Gates is an emerald on my team in Wisconsin. I met her in a work from home group. When I didn't have 5 people to reach out to, I will post in a work from home group. or any kind of stay-at-home mom group or whatever it is about my opportunity or about the products. And I will find 5 new people. So I found her on a work-from-home group. I basically, in that group, said I'm a stay-at-home mom of 3 children. I replaced full-time income in 4 months. I'm looking to help others do the same. If you're sick of direct sales, contact me. That's what I said. And she contacted me, and her first thing she said was, no, I'm not interested. I'm doing XYZ. I said, why? And she said, because I have to buy so much inventory every month. And the conversation went on. We talked probably 15 times before she joined, and she is now Emerald.
Good story. Well, and that's how you joined. You didn't know Tamara.
No, she worked from home site.
That's amazing. I've never utilized that. So that's really, I've heard of it before. I just haven't taken the time to do it. So that's really great. Great information, you guys. So you have no excuse. Do not tell me that you have gone through your entire list. That Kristi just told us what we need to do, if that's the case. Well, Kristi, this was wonderful information. I knew it was just going to be awesome. And I love so much. I mean, I've taken pages and pages of notes, but the contagious enthusiasm just kind of linked with the attitude and just the all in and just, yeah, being all in. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
So much. So this was wonderful.
Thank you.
Well,
I'm gonna head off. I know you guys are gonna finish up your call, but really it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me tonight.
You're so welcome. Thanks again. Bye.
Okay.
Bye, Kristi. Okay, team. Yes, a great call. I knew she was a diamond ambassador, you guys, from 17 cents to like $500,000 a year. Are you kidding me? That's just, I knew she has such a cool story. Let me go back to my notes. So we're gonna wrap it up. It's given an hour. Just a couple of quick announcements for everybody. You guys, it's the end of the month in the Plexus world. The end of the month is a very exciting time because we're trying to, just like your business owner. I love what she said about an executive mindset. Fully promote and believe that to the end. So with that executive mindset, you want to be in your back office. Know your back office, okay? Even if you're just getting started, learn to love your back office, especially at the end of the month. You want to know who your ambassadors are. You want to know when their ship dates are coming. You want to know and make sure your customers are straight. They've put some major credit card fraud filters in our back office right now. I posted about it on the team page, which really explains what that means. It's a good thing. Okay, it's a good thing because we've had so much fraudulent activity and people selling our Plexus on eBay and Amazon, which again, I want to reiterate, is a good thing because our product is in high demand. They wouldn't be paying attention in doing this. The bad guys wouldn't be stealing our stuff if we didn't have something that the public wanted that they couldn't make money off of. The bad thing is they're selling it on eBay and Amazon with stolen credit cards, okay? So if you have somebody, because this is happening across the board, this is kind of twofold, me talking about this. If you have a customer, I've even heard of ambassadors, wholesale ambassadors, who are going on eBay and they're paying, $55 for 3 bags of Slim. Those people need to know that the people that are selling it to them are using fraudulent credit cards. So they've stole someone else's card. They're using that stolen card to buy the stuff, but then they're getting the information from the person that's coming to them off of Amazon and eBay, and that person is giving the credit card, their personal credit card information to the bad guy. So then the bad guy has this new credit card information, so then Susie comes along and she wants to buy, and then they take Mary's credit card and use it on Susie, so then Mary sees this crazy charge from anyway. So it's a big mess. Okay, with all that being said, know that, make sure you're educating people. If they're buying it on eBay and Amazon, they are participating in fraudulent activity and they're putting themselves at risk. All right, so it's not just have integrity and don't buy it, but they are also putting themselves at risk. Okay, so Plexus they've hired a team, one of the best law firms in the country that understands how to protect and do this. They're coming in and they're kind of laying down the hammer. So we have a lot of filters. So the last few days, it's been very challenging for some people to get orders in. All right. There's also cards that would regularly in past month maybe have gone through, but maybe something isn't quite right. If the billing address isn't perfect, it's not going to go through. And when I say perfect, that means if it's like drive and someone puts the word court, or it's like abbreviated the wrong way, it could possibly hang up their credit card. this is making it hard on us, but that's why you have to know your back office. You've got to understand if someone's not white line, they've got their backup order on, they've always had their auto ship, and they've always they've always ordered, and it's not showing up right now at the end of the month, then you probably need to reach out to them. You need to pick up the phone and call them, send them a message, let them know. So it's very important that all the information on those cards match so our stuff goes through. This is, you know, it's across the board super important because our points, if people aren't getting their stuff, then our points aren't registering and everybody's sort of losing in that because we get paid for our points. So, okay, so make sure that you know your back office, know what's going on. We have 2 events this week I want to make sure you guys know about and understand what's going on. I'm going to do an opportunity meeting tomorrow morning online via Zoom, just like this, at 11 o'clock in the morning. So all stay-at-home moms with their kids at preschool, you know, send a personal message. There's a graphic for the one tomorrow. There's also a graphic for one on Thursday night. So we're hitting the 11 o'clock crowd and then the 9 p.m. crowd on Thursday. And the graphic looks the same, except just the date and the time is different. So you want to look at those 2 graphics on the team page and pick the one that you want. I'm going to use the same link just to keep it simple. All right, so you've got one link for both events. So make sure, you know, let people know about it. We're gonna jump online at 11 o'clock. I've got a couple of live testimonies lined up. I'm gonna give a very kind of brief overview of the products, and then how do you get involved? The 3 ways to buy. No pressure. If it's a small group, I might ask questions and kind of draw them. You know, if it's a bigger group, I won't be able to do that. You know, you guys know I'll fly by the seat of my pants. I think it'll be good. In the end, I want people to love Plexus just like we do. And you know, if someone takes the time to get on an online opportunity meeting, we've got a pretty good chance that they're going to get involved somehow. And then the last thing I want to make sure I know you. Okay, so I just want to tell you guys. So stinking excited about the activity on this team in the last 2 weeks. I mean, like, people are on fire every day. I'm watching people plan events, and I've got the Tough Love. We've got a Tough Love to Maui campaign going on. There's 44 people that have said, yes, I'm all in. Yes, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get to Emeralds. And 44 people are doing it. I mean, it's blowing my mind. They're reaching out to 10 people a day. You know, following up. I just see amazing things happening. The momentum that's building on this team is awesome, and let's just keep the fire going. Remember, speed loves speed. We're just going to keep reaching out. What Kristi said, that's the business. That's the business that we're in. We're in the business of connecting with people and reaching out. So kind of stay in that mode. So whatever you've got going on, make sure you're posting it on the team. You're letting everybody know. If you're doing an event you want people to come to, an online something, 7-day challenges, 30-day challenges, let the team know so we can support you. It's hard for me to kind of keep up. There's so much cool stuff going on. So I want to make sure that you guys know the team page is for everyone, and don't hold back if you have something you want to share on the page. When is Super Saturday? That's a really good question. It's in January. I'll have to look that up. I don't know off the top of my head. And I think that's it. I'm really proud of you guys. I see some great things happening and some new fire. And we are going to have several full tables in Maui. I have no doubt, you guys. I'm going to just real quick, it's 10 o'clock. It's been an hour and I'm talking fast. But I do want to end in prayer and send you guys off for a great week. So, Lord, we just come before you, just thanking you for this time together, thanking you always that you have ordained our businesses, Lord, and that you have it all worked out for us. I just pray that you would bless each person on this call tonight, that you would bring the people that have not yet heard about Plexus, that have not yet come on board, that you would bring those people so that we would know without a doubt that those people have been called, they have been prayed for, and that you will just continue to be at the center of our business, Lord. So we just thank you. We pray for a great healing. We pray for the prayers that I know are on people's hearts and that are unspoken tonight. We thank you in all ways. Amen. All right. Good night, my loves. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Ah.